Welcome back to the Red Dice Diaries, and in this RPG review I'm going to be looking at the PDF version of Jadetech Red Jade by Jacob Possin. Now you can see my link to the original review I did of Jadepunk just there, and this is the second of 6 supplements for Jadepunk, each dealing with a different type of jade, the mystical system and element of the game. You can see my review of the first supplement, Green Jade, by clicking there. The PDF is approximately 16 pages long and it costs $2.99. That's American dollars, and that's about £1.86 in British money. The cover continues the layout from the previous Green Jade supplement, this time showing a red orb, the game's icon for Red Jade. And I like that because it keeps the theme of the supplement going. The opening fiction continues to follow 2 of the escapees from the Green Jade supplement and how they explosively deal with some bandits as they attempt to return to Kaosao City. The fiction is nicely paced and it provides a little taster/teaser for some of Red Jade's properties without initially bombarding you with too much detail from the opening. Red Jade is the second most common form of jade in the game world. It is, however, very volatile and unstable, being prone to exploding, making it very difficult to refine without specific processes. It's also found in some of the most difficult terrain in the world, mainly deserts and volcanoes, anywhere with a lot of heat and or fire. The book tells us that the uses for Red Jade were first discovered by accident when a blacksmith discovered that by introducing the Red Jade to his forge fires, the temperature that they would reach would be much higher. However, uses for Red Jade remained limited for a long time due to its volatility until specialised processes were discovered that allowed it to be refined into a relatively safe alloy. The book also gives some examples of how Red Jade is used in everyday life, from explosives to generators to the street lamps lighting the districts of the rich in Kaosao City. One of the most interesting bits of the book for me was the mention of artists and creative types using powder jade, I suppose almost like a cross between snuff and Red Bull, to keep their inspiration and their energy levels going beyond that which they would normally be able to do. However, the book does mention that those sort of people tend to burn out very quickly, flaring brightly and then fading away to almost nothing, which seems very appropriate given the volatility and explosive nature of Red Jade. I think that's certainly an interesting additional little wrinkle that could be explored in Jadepunk games and would add a bit of extra interest to the setting. The supplement keeps the layout style of the previous book in the series. Information box outs are separated either with torn parchment scraps or in splats of colour, this time in red. I like the way this keeps the layout theme constant between books in the series, but it never lets you forget that this PDF is about Red Jade. And the book rounds off with a number of ready-made assets, and these cover the gamut from explosives to Red Jade covered knuckle dusters to bullet casings. And these are all very interesting and well written. As with the first book in this series, Jadepunk Red Jade provides interesting new options for both GM and players, adding an additional layer of detail and interest to the background of the world without heaping on loads of extra unnecessary complexity, which is a mistake I've seen in some other Fate supplements. And it's nice to see that the designers of Jadepunk really seem to have got a handle on the fact that the simplicity of the system can do an awful lot without unnecessary complication. If you're interested in Jadepunk, or you want to look at how an equipment-based magic system can really work in Fate without adding too much additional complexity or difficulty to the game, then I highly recommend this PDF, especially at the very reasonable price that it's being offered for on Drive-Thru RPG, and I'll put a link to it down below. So, if you've enjoyed this review, I hope you'll consider clicking on like and subscribing to my channel by clicking on the red dice up there. If you have any comments on Jadetech Red Jade or Jade Punk or anything about this video, then please, as always, leave them in the comments box below or hit me up in the Google Plus links. Until I see you next time, I look forward to reading what you write. Thank you very much for watching and for listening. Take care.